have you ever just felt that pull? That feeling that you want to be part of something bigger? Yeah, we all have. It's this deep human need to belong. But, sometimes it feels like there are these invisible walls that just get in the way. So today, we're going to break it down. We're going to look at what those barriers are and, more importantly, how we can start tearing them down.
Wow. This line, it's from the musical Dear Evan Hansen, and it just hits you, right? It captures something so real. It's that quiet little wish that so many of us have, that deep, universal desire for connection, just to find a place where we feel like we actually fit in.
And let's be super clear about something. That feeling, it's not a weakness, not at all. It's actually a fundamental part of what makes us human. We're literally wired for connection. This need for community, for belonging, it's as essential to our well-being as anything else. It's that important.
Okay, so if this need is so universal, right? If we're all feeling it, why is it so ridiculously hard sometimes to actually reach out and make those connections? There's this thing that holds us back even when it's what we want more than anything. So what is that invisible wall? What's really holding us back? Well, it pretty much boils down to one powerful and super common emotion.
And there it is, fear of vulnerability. That's the big one. It's that little voice in your head that makes you hesitate to be your true, authentic self because you're worried about what other people are going to think. And that fear of judgment, man, it can pop up anywhere, at work, with friends, and it can make us pull back, retreat into ourselves, and feel totally isolated.
And look, the stakes here they're huge. Just look at the two sides of this. When you feel isolated, you're stuck with that fear of judgment, those social complexities, that awful feeling of being forgotten. But on the other side, when you feel connected, you get mutual support, you get real, honest-to-goodness personal growth. You get to be in a nurturing environment. The difference is night and day, and it makes it so clear why this journey is absolutely worth taking.
All right, so the big question is, how do we get from that feeling of isolation over to that feeling of connection? Well, the great news is there's actually a path. Think of it like a toolkit. We're going to break down 4 key steps to help you build those deeper bonds you're looking for.
So here they are, our 4 keys to connection. First, we're going to talk about embracing vulnerability. Then, taking small steps, super important. After that, we'll get into cultivating empathy. And finally, celebrating your progress. Let's dive into that first one, shall we? Okay, key number 1, embrace vulnerability. This one is all about flipping the script on how we see vulnerability. For so long, we've been taught it's a weakness, right? But it's not. It's actually the complete opposite. It's the bedrock of trust. Being open, being honest, even in tiny ways. That's how you build real, meaningful connections. It's the only way. All right, key number 2 is all about making this feel doable. Take small steps. We're not talking about making some huge, scary leap of faith here. No way. It's about the little things. Just starting a simple conversation, or maybe joining a club or a group activity that feels low pressure. The whole idea is to just gently build up your confidence, one tiny step at a time.
And that brings us to key number 3, cultivate empathy. This is a big one. It's about remembering that you are not alone in feeling this way. Seriously, just about everyone you meet shares this exact same need for connection. And when you can really start to believe that, your perspective shifts. You stop seeing people as potential critics and start seeing them as people who probably want the exact same thing you do. And that right there helps create a way more welcoming, inclusive vibe for everyone.
Okay, our 4th and final key, and this might be the one we forget the most, is to celebrate your progress. This whole thing is a journey, It's not a race to the finish line. I love this quote, "Acknowledge and appreciate each step forward, no matter how small. You've got to be kind to yourself." Recognizing every little effort you make is what keeps you going. It's what builds that momentum. So, let's bring this all together. Let's talk about the reward for all this effort. Because when you start taking these steps, something really cool happens. You're not just changing your own life, you're actually part of building something so much bigger. And please, remember this. Every single effort you make, it counts. It really does. Every time you choose to be a little vulnerable, or start a simple conversation, or just show a bit of empathy, it's like dropping a pebble in a pond. You're creating a ripple effect. All those little individual actions start to add up, and they create real positive change for everyone around you. So what's the ultimate payoff? What's the big prize? It's this.
You help create a community where everyone feels seen, where they feel heard, and where they feel understood. Think about how powerful that is. When you do your part to build that, you're not just finding a place for yourself. You're literally creating that space for other people too. You're helping build an environment where real, genuine connections can actually take root and grow.
Look, taking this on, it's not always going to be easy, but it is such a beautiful journey. It's a journey toward a life that's more connected, more fulfilling, not just for you, but for everyone you interact with.
So, let's end with this. Let's bring it all the way back to right here, right now. Forget about the big, grand journey for just a second. What's one small step, just one tiny, manageable thing you can do today to move a little closer to connection?